Whether you like it or not, the Dragon Ball Xenoverse series is one of the most successful anime video game franchises out there, selling over 10 million copies and being played worldwide every single day. Now let's go ahead and jump into a recent Q&A from the producers and see what's going to be the future of this game and what it could mean for Xenoverse 3. Alright, what is up? This is SLOplays, and I am back at it again with some more Dragon Ball Xenoverse series information and news here on the channel. Let's talk about the most recent info that came out during Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour of this year. There was a game producer panel event thing that they had. They finally dropped a VOD, a video that, you know, had the full panel, and they discussed everything, and I did get a clip from it that was talking about Xenoverse and stuff with some sparking info. But let's talk about the info that we got from Super Chronicles, aka DBS Chronicles. I'll link them down below. Shoutouts to Non-Existent Alt 8. I guess I'm assuming that they were at the event or they got this information from the event whenever they were watching it. I'm not exactly sure, okay? But it's coming from them. Let's talk about what was stated in this panel whenever they were discussing all the games and, you know, its relation to sparking and all that stuff and the evolution of, you know, the Dragon Ball games, right? So he stated that Xenoverse and Sparking series, so just Xenoverse 2 and Dragon Ball Sparking 0, are going to run alongside one another to provide specific experiences that the other game cannot. So for all those people that were saying that, you know, Xenoverse is going to be dead when Sparking comes out, nobody's going to play Xenoverse anymore because everybody's just going to play Sparking. I mean, I know this ain't going to shut any of those people up. They're still going to, you know, be yapping about it. But, which, I mean, it's pretty obvious. I knew this. I didn't need somebody to tell me this or confirm it or whatever. But, yeah, Xenoverse is gonna do fine. And it'll keep selling. It'll keep having players, okay? Especially whenever new content comes, it's going to get even more players, right? Because while Xenoverse gets new content, and while Sparking gets new content, the other game isn't, right? I doubt that they would drop content on these games at the same time. That would be really stupid. You know, Sparking, when it drops, don't know when that's going to be. You know, obviously, every Dragon Ball game is going to have a drop in players because it's a new Dragon Ball game, okay? Any new game that comes out, people are going to go and flock towards that game and try it out, play it, you know, and enjoy it, right? And that'll last, you know, maybe around up to a month, okay? And then over time, you know, players will slowly, the player count drops off, okay? That's very common for every video game, every Dragon Ball game especially, okay? You know, slowly but surely, some people might be like, this maybe isn't the game for me, you know, but everybody will at least try it out for the first time because it's so anticipated, okay? Everybody wants this game. Sparking is massive. It's going to sell like crazy. It might actually sell, you know, outsell all these other Dragon Ball games. Xenoverse and Fighters being the two most sold Dragon Ball games, right? But something that a lot of people were bringing up with this is, you know, the idea that they're saying the Xenoverse and Sparking series. They're not specifically saying Sparking 0 and Xenoverse 2, okay? I think people are reaching a little bit too far with that. A little bit crazy with the reach of it. People saying, oh, this is confirming Xenoverse 3. As we'll go in the replies, we'll see what people have to say about it, okay? I personally don't think that's what that means. Like I said, we're going to bring up a clip, okay? I'm going to bring up a clip here in just a second that is talking about basically what this says, but the way that they worded it, okay, in this isn't exactly the same as what's being stated right here. Okay, so let's bring that clip up and let's listen to it. All right, so I took this directly from the event, the panel. They re-uploaded it. If you want, you can watch it for yourself or whatever, the full thing. But I wanted to mainly, you know, see what they were talking about in terms of Xenoverse, right? It's very short, but let's listen.
Since Mito-san is here today, let me talk about Sparking. Actually, since I became in charge of Dragon Ball games, the development of the titles so far has been about how to bring out the charm of Dragon Ball that is not in the Sparking series.
Okay, so to give you guys a little bit more context on, you know, what was happening there, just because it was a little bit out of context, right? They were talking about all the other Dragon Ball games, the main Dragon Ball games, mainly talking to Harano-san, who was the original producer, okay, up until I think like DLC 10 for Xenoverse 2. He was discussing, now he's, by the way, he's the general game producer of like all of the games now. He always had, you know, and he was doing stuff with every Dragon Ball game before, but like they just like kind of gave him that general role, which is pretty cool, okay? So basically what happened was because of Kakarot Fighters and Xenoverse, okay, those are the three big main console games. Okay, we're not counting Breakers just because that game is just it's so different. What they're trying to target with that game isn't really a main series game. Okay, it's just kind of like a side game for fun that does something different. Okay, the asymmetrical stuff, right? But these 3 big console games, which, really sold. Okay, they sold a lot, right? They were discussing what each game brings to the table that's different from the Sparking series, as you saw, at that little clip that I showed. So what they're trying to do, which we talked about this several times before, I made a whole video about, Xenoverse and Sparking and how they're going to be different, and that's why they will run alongside each other, is because Xenoverse offers the Avatar CAC experience. Okay, Sparking Zero is not going to have that experience. So if you like that experience, and for whatever reason you're still waiting for them to drop information on that in Sparking, you're going to wait for the rest of your life because it's never going to happen. Okay, Sparking and the Budokai Tenkaichi series is offering that immersive game experience that is for Dragon Ball fans. Okay, people that want a hardcore, not a hardcore, but like a really solid Dragon Ball game that has great fighting, great combat, etc., etc. A lot of characters. That is like the game that most fans will go to. Xenoverse kind of filled that role as Sparking was absent, right? But I still think Xenoverse is a great game for any casual fan. I still think that's, a good thing. Sparking, I would say it's like a middle ground between casual and even competitive. Xenoverse, you can make it competitive, but I'm just saying, like, most people, because there are CACs in it, and you can make your CAC, like, so OP with Beast and Ultra Instinct and Super Saiyan Blue Evolved, and, all this. CACs are insane, right? Okay, you just have so much more flexibility in content with Xenoverse. Okay, Sparking is just going to be, hey, let's just have a lot of great characters, a lot of great animations, iconic stuff from the series. That's your game. That's the game that you want to play. That's what you need to know about the continuation of Xenoverse, and what's going to be happening in the future is that as Sparking evolves with, new DLC and its release and everything, Xenoverse will still be getting content with it. We know this because they had that massive roadmap that they revealed last year during the 7-year anniversary. Okay, we're already confirmed right here to be getting new DLC, additional scenarios, a new story, more playable characters, and even other, additional content is coming. And then there's more. Okay, what could that be? And more, right? Dare I say Xenoverse 3? I'm joking. No. Okay, we always bring up this leak about Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 being in development. Obviously, this is, things have changed. I personally will always believe in Xenoverse 3 happening. Like I said, things have changed, and maybe, the course for things could happen later on. But right now, don't expect Xenoverse 3. Whether or not we get Xenoverse 2 DLC for the rest of our life, right? Until I'm dead. One way or another, content is going to be flowing in for this series, and a Xenoverse 3 is never out of the question. They could always do it, and they could always make it crazy and amazing. Or they could just add on stuff that they would do for Xenoverse 3, but put it in Xenoverse 2. That's always a possibility as well. Let's talk about some of the... I just want to go over a little bit of what people are saying. So, Xenoverse 3 is still a possibility, okay, from some of the replies, right? People believe in it. People believe in it, okay? There are some people that don't, and they think it's never going to happen, and that's fine. But, good reactions, okay, so far. Xenoverse lives on, right? So it's looking like we'll be seeing Xenoverse 3 after all. Again, that's not happening anytime soon. I still think it might happen, but it's cool to see that people still believe in it. Okay, I'm glad to hear, because there were a lot of people that fell off that the belief that a Xenoverse 3 could happen, right? Here, we got a great one. So the no skill bums will just run to Xenoverse, okay? Xenoverse, to a certain extent, I don't play competitive or anything, but there is definitely some skill involved, okay? I'm the perfect example of somebody who just plays the game casually and has no skill. You compare me to somebody like Steed, Rikudu, Burkhall, Cabby, and just all these other creators are just people that are just way better than me at the game, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's skill involved, okay? So don't act like there's not, right? Now, obviously, there are things in the game that are, need to be more balanced, and there's cheese, and I'm not going to get into that, but, every game is going to have shit like that, right? Shout out to Xenoverse 2. We'll never die. Some people really, this lit a fire under their ass, okay? This really burned their ass to hear this. and I think that's hilarious. They better release Xenoverse 3 after Sparking Zero, or at least a new graphic texture update for Xenoverse 2. As much as I would love that, I don't know, but we'll see. My boy Neo Otaku, big Xenoverse fan. They're gonna continue milking Xenoverse? Damn. Some people don't like this. It hurts them. I mean, if you don't like Xenoverse, I don't know why you would even give a shit about it, like, at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't like something, I don't see why you would care. If they're gonna milk Xenoverse, then fucking let them milk it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they want to milk it, they can milk it. As I've always said, if the content is good and it's solid and it's fun, you know, people will enjoy it and people will support it, right? If it's bad and there are issues with it, people are going to voice their opinions, which we have in the past. Okay, we've always done that, right? Some people might see me as like a Xenoverse dick rider or whatever it may be. But no, I love this series. I want to see it do very well, and I want to see good things come to the series, right? So I'm always trying to give feedback. If there's a problem, you guys have seen, I've done rants on it. Like, I'm not completely one-sided with this, right? That's great. I hope Xenoverse 3 happens, yeah. So after Sparking Zero releases, the next game could be Xenoverse 3. Very true. It could, right? You know, there's always going to be a new Dragon Ball game that comes out every few years. That's like a big one, right? We'll get some like filler in between, like Breakers or Dragon Ball Heroes World Mission, you know, that kind of stuff, right? Or even Dragon Ball Fusions. Like, I'd love a game like that to come out, okay? More games like Dragon Ball Fusions, please. If they had Super Saiyan 4, I'll be happy, okay? Sparking Zero is leagues beyond, but I will enjoy both, okay? So yeah, there's nothing wrong with, you know, if you think that Sparking Zero is going to be the better game overall, okay, that's fine. As long as you're not, you know, you're not taking away from what Xenoverse still has to offer. Because there's still a lot that Xenoverse has to offer that Sparking does not have, okay? And it will not have, right? All these other Dragon Ball games, they have something to offer for a specific audience. So always keep that in mind whenever you're going to shit on one of the games, right? And, you know, especially with the Breakers, I do want to say, you know, as much for me personally, I don't really care too much about the Breakers these days. I still think the game and the idea and the concept is really cool and everything. I can't find myself enjoying it as much as some people. You know, you got to ease up on the shitting on that game, okay? Chill out, right? Again, it's an optional game. You don't have to buy it. You don't have to play it. There is an audience for it that really, you know, or a little core fan base that really does enjoy it. And that goes same with every other Dragon Ball game. You know, Kakarot, Fighters, Xenoverse, they're going to be here for a while. And we should be grateful that there is a game out there for every single genre to a certain extent. So just know Xenoverse content will be coming more and more and more. Even when Sparking releases, Xenoverse will still be here, right? Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, ring my notification bell, and peace out.
This is Broly, and you are watching SLOplays. Make sure to subscribe, or else I'll destroy your entire planet.